Well, so the advanced directive is, I would say, a large category that could involve many documents under it. But the advanced directive generally talks about healthcare, and it's something that you would write in advance of your terminal illness or critical illness or your incapacitation to give your family members and also your medical providers some idea of how you would like your treatment to go. So the advanced directive is this umbrella over a number of different types of documents that might fit into there.
Okay, so with COVID-19, the heart-wrenching stories that we're hearing of people who are admitted to a hospital, often unable to breathe, let alone talk and let wishes be known, they end up dying alone in an intensive care unit. So we would think that, at least across the country, we're hearing that more people are going for an advanced directive. Has that been the case in Kentucky?
We haven't seen that. Now, we are the largest elder law firm. It's not just elder law attorneys that do advanced directives, though. You can actually get an advanced directive living will. That's one of the types of advanced directives from the Attorney General's website. They have a packet on there. What we do, even if someone had that packet and brought it to us, we want to go through that with them to make sure that they understand those decisions that they're making, because what we see is a lot of times people actually fill that out incorrectly anyway. So from our firm's perspective, unfortunately, we have not seen more people demanding those advanced directives. We thought we would, but they may be getting it, they may be using online internet resources and not dealing with an attorney.
So you said the Governor Andy Beshear, Kentucky's governor, actually made it possible for people to do that remotely, if you will, to go ahead and fill out an advance directive.
Yes. So if we're dealing with the living will in Kentucky, there are some statutory requirements for executing it, for signing it in the proper way in order for it to actually be a valid legal document. You either have to have two witnesses in your presence seeing you sign and also signing the document, or you have to have it notarized. That notary also has to be in your presence. Now, presence is defined under the law to mean physical presence, as in you and I are in the same room together and I can physically see you signing and we sign together, right? What the governor's emergency order has done has allowed that definition of presence essentially to be expanded, so that as long as we can see and hear each other by video conference, then we can do that signing remotely. And that would be true for the notary to sign remotely or for those witnesses to sign remotely.
So why is it important for people to have an advance directive now more than ever with COVID-19 and the inability to make their last wishes known?
Yeah, so like I said, the advanced directive term, that's an umbrella term. So let's look at some of the specific documents. The one most commonly thought of is that living will. In Kentucky, the Attorney General form that you would see, it would say, if you are facing the end of your life, do you want to still be on a breathing machine, yes or no? Do you want to still be on a feeding tube or receive artificial nourishment and fluids, yes or no? And then do you want to donate your tissues and organs, yes or no? Do you want to take those with you? So it's important more for the family, in my opinion, than even for the medical provider to know what those decisions are, so that you don't have one child or your spouse and your child warring and saying, well, I think that she would want to be left on life support. No, I think that she wouldn't. So it really eases the burden for your family members in trying to make those decisions. But then, of course, it does tell your medical providers what you wanted, so that you don't get interventions that you really did not contemplate and really would not like. Another of the documents that is considered an advanced directive is a healthcare surrogate. It's a medical power of attorney where you can actually designate someone. Let's say it's not an end of life decision, but they have to do a surgery on you and it's an emergency surgery and you're unconscious. You can't consent to that. There are risks involved with that surgery. There are risks involved with not performing that surgery. Who can make that decision for you? In a healthcare surrogate or medical power of attorney, you can designate someone to do that. That's also a different type of advanced directive.
This is a tough conversation to have, no doubt, but really good information. Kelly Gannott is an attorney with Kentucky Elder Law based in Louisville. You're watching Coffee Near Me. I'm Barbara Deeb, coming to you from my living room so that we can social distance. And of course, we'd love for you to keep the conversation going. Who would you like to sit down and have a cup of coffee with and share a conversation? Now, Kelly, this show, we always ask our guests, living or dead, if you had the opportunity to have a cup of coffee and a conversation, who would you have that with?
So many, right?
One.
If we had to go, I would make a personal choice, and I would choose to have coffee with my grandmother because I do miss her so.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Thanks for watching Coffee Near Me. I'm Barbara Deeb, and as we said, we'd love to hear from you. Who would you like to have a cup of coffee with? Hey, listen, now I've got my coffee here. Cheers to you, Kelly. Thank you. Stay well.
Thank you.